What's up, everybody? As you can see, it's just me today, our guest co-host Coley, and our guest Tiffany. Mr. Swamp Rat Fishing is out doing his duty on the boat somewhere in the West Coast. So tonight you have me leading this show, and I'm sure it's going to be a train wreck. But that's okay. That's okay.
Welcome. Thank you, Tiffany, for being here. Hello, Paul. It's so wonderful to see you again. And in the honor of Alex, what is up, all you wonderful folks? That's my Alex impersonation.
That's right. That's right. Well, did everybody bring a beer?
I did not.
Okay.
I brought.
You don't have to have one. Well, shit. You know what? Damn, that right there works just as good. Yeah, that's delicious.
I brought choices.
Well, we will part.
For Coley. Bullet. And this is a local distillery called Treaty Oak. So.
Nice. All right, Coley, what you got? Did you bring anything tonight? Did you make Wild Bill proud and bring some more White Claw?
No, I have White Claw if you'd like me to switch or drink both. But this is Offshoot Beer Co. And it's local. It's by the brewery. They decided that they never wanted to brew an IPA. And this is a hazy IPA. And the brewers won, so they have their own little Offshoot Beer Co. that they do sell at the brewery. Hazy IPA, it's a 6.5 or 6.8, I can't remember, but I really enjoy it. It's called Relax, and they have a whole line of Escape, Relax, and there's another one that's like 8.5 or 8.9, and woo-wee, that's a lot.
Is that one called Just Forget?
This one's, yeah, it's something funny like that, yeah. I think it's called Escape, I'm not sure.
Nice. I just got a regular wicked weed Freak of Nature. I saw it and got it mainly because it has 8.5% alcohol, and I love ABVs.
That's all you care about.
But you know, as a freak of nature myself, I enjoyed what the can looked like.
I mean, you are the South Carolina bass hunt. That's
right. I am the South Carolina bass hunt. Even though I live in North Carolina and I was born and raised in South Carolina, though, so I got to represent both Carolinas. So I just chose South Carolina tonight.
You should have just been the Carolina bass hunt then.
Well, it wouldn't match up with the TxBassBabe. And, you know, we're all about, kind of rhyming on here.
Oh.
All right. Y'all ready to open it up?
3, 2,
1. Nice. All right. Well, I'm all over the place because I didn't even do our regular intro. So I'll do it now as everybody catches up, wetting their whistle and drinking their drink. We want to thank Hookset Hoodlums, which Coley is one of our newest members.
Displaying my hat.
I can't do all the Hookset stuff. I forgot what I used to do, and Alex sitting here, so I didn't have time to practice because I had to prep to make sure that I ran this show as professionally as he would. But yeah, check out Hookset Hoodlums. What'd you say?
I said good luck.
Oh yeah, I know. Shit. I told y'all, train wreck, it's going to be fun. It's going to be like a Western where the trains are coming at each other. Nobody can do anything. But Hookset Hoodlums, check out the gear. It's awesome stuff. And that's pretty much it. So now we're going to get into the show because we do have our special guest co-host, Coley, and our guest, Tiffany. And so this is going to be kind of a content creator type episode because both of them put out some of the best content you'll see on Instagram. And if you followed along with this podcast, you know we've mentioned that before. But the best way to learn how to create content is to follow somebody that you connect with, see what they do, talk to them, and try to imitate them if that's how it fits for you. And y'all are very similar in that in your style of how you create content. is that just because of your personalities, or how did this come about? Did y'all connect and then kind of grow with each other?
Coley and I are basically the same person who just lives like across the country from each other.
Or twinsies, for sure.
Well,
Every time we talk, I'm like, gosh, we're the same person.
So we quickly became friends. It started around Lady Slayers. I'd say we became better friends, connecting through that tournament series. And yeah, we do have very similar Instagram styles. And Coley helped me. I had started this little trend called This So I Can That. We dubbed it Fishing Mullet Wednesday, kind of an inside joke. And it's kind of taken off a little bit. So that's been fun. Coley helped me promote it. And
it's been a blast. It's been really
it's a lot of fun. So we've had a bunch of people jumping on board.
Yeah, it's fun to see what our friends are, what they do, when they're not fishing. So Paul, you're going to have to jump on that too, and let us see what you do when you're not fishing.
Yep, every Wednesday.
Well, you don't have to go far to see what I do when I'm not fishing, because my Instagram is me. It's not just fishing. I didn't want to separate it out. It's hard enough to take care of one. So you see, Dad made split pea soup 2 days ago. So, mine's an open book, so you can see. So Tiffany, tell us about your journey into fishing, from when you started to where you are now.
So I kind of grew up just casually fishing. I wouldn't call myself from like a fishing family. Like there's some people who grow up in tournaments or their dad taking them out on the lake all the time. I was not that. I was just the tomboy who liked to fish and would find a creek or a pond and throw a line in. And that's kind of just how I grew up, just really casually fishing, no formal training or anything. And then as I got older, I got more interested in fishing. And really the last, I'd say 2 years, my family has a ranch. And so I go out there and fish the stock ponds a lot. And I started posting pictures of the bass I would catch. And I was just posting them on my personal Facebook, just because I was bored, and I would post a picture of me with a bass. And a friend of mine from high school, actually, who, we didn't chat much about anything else. And so he reached out to me because he's a bass fisherman. And after a couple months of me posting these pictures of, 3-4 pound bass, he was like, you need to start an Instagram. And he's like, a fishing Instagram. And I was like, what? Like, that's even a thing? Like, I barely had a personal Instagram. I think I have like 20 people on my personal one. And so it was like 4th of July weekend. I was bored at the pond one day and started TxBassBabe kind of as a joke. And it's led to amazing things. I mean, it grew really quick. And I had no idea what I was doing. But like you said, I found a lot of other accounts that I liked, and I emulated their style and I made it my own. I'm kind of a quirky person, so I try to be me on my page and not somebody else. And I started in February. I fished my first tournament ever. And I fished with the BFL up in North Carolina.
That was in September.
Your neck of the woods.
Crib.
Lake Norman.
Yeah, that's a couple hours west of me, but still Carolinas.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever fished a fishing tournament in my whole life.
Oh my God.
And I was kind of thrown in with the big boys. So it was a lot of fun. And I guess pun intended, I got hooked. And so when I came back to Texas, I signed up for BFL here. So I fished the Cowboy division. I'll fish it again this next year. So I completed four of the 5 tournaments in the Cowboy division this year. And I ended up in the top 25%. So not too shabby for a co-angler in her first season ever as a rookie.
So I have one question, and I'm going to ask it right now, but then I got to ask Coley something. Why did you fish the BFL in North Carolina? But before you answer that, Coley, are you drinking your beer with a straw?
You did last week. I don't want to mess up my lipstick. And it's tropical. Look at Paul. I got a tropical background. I got a brightly colored shirt on. Why don't you relax? I got my straw. I'm all brightly colored.
This was leading into the second question. What gravesite did you steal them flowers from behind you?
Look, flowers come to me. Sometimes they're small. Look, there's a whole bush back here somewhere. One of them's a big old giant bush. But anyways, I wanted to be tropical. I wanted to feel like I was in paradise. Little did I know I was going to be with Paul giving me all kinds of, you know what? Here.
When you were a guest, you had fishing rods stood up in the back, and it was all. And now I
got, look at it right here.
I see the hats.
I got my hats. I wanted to feel tropical. I got my friend on. I wanted to, I wanted to liven it up a little bit.
Look, if there's a redneck in the West, I'm pretty sure this is what the background would look like.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, I ain't redneck. I'm country. Big difference. But anyway,
okay.
I'm glad we got the setting set for us. Got the scene set. So Tiffany, what brought you from Texas? And where are you? You're in Austin, I think, right?
I live in Austin. Yeah, I grew up in San Antonio.
Okay.
I live in Austin now.
Sweet. Why North Carolina for the BFL? Was that just the first one that popped up? Like, hell yeah.
No, really, I had no idea what I was doing. And a friend of mine encouraged me to do tournament fishing. And I was like, I don't even have a boat. Here's how much I didn't know. I didn't even know co-anglering was a thing. Like, I knew people fished in teams, but I didn't realize there were tournament series where if you're not a boater, you can sign up and fish with a boater. So a friend of mine encouraged me, and he happens to live in North Carolina and was fishing the boater side of that. Oh, and nice. So he kind of as a whim was like, do you want to come fish this first BFL tournament? It was the first one in that trail. And I was like, why not? So I literally just flew to North Carolina and fished a tournament. It was a little awkward because I'm right-handed, but I fish lefty. So
same.
I've got they ain't no. That's my screen right here, but I got notes because that is interesting. Let's the hell with it. Let's get into it. So I'm right-handed. All right. Now I bat left-handed. I throw right-handed. I shoot pistols right-handed. I shoot my pistols right-handed. I shoot my long guns left-handed.
I'm actually more accurate left than I am right.
So, and Coley, I didn't know this about you, but this is what's interesting, right? So when you go fishing with most people, most righties throw right-handed, switch to the left hand and reel right-handed. And so, to be honest, I've got some right-handed reels. I do both. I've got left-handed reels and right-handed reels. So I'll throw my top water, for instance, I throw right-handed and I reel right-handed. But I do both. But you don't see a lot of folks. And this came up after Seth Feider won Bass Angler of the Year. This came up about everybody switching to reeling left-handed because that's what he did. Is that so? Both of y'all answer this because was that just what felt natural to you?
Yep.
Right.
I've tried using right-handed reels and I just feel like an awkward duck. So like when I fished that first tournament, I borrowed all my bait casters.
Oh shit.
And the boater, I ended up pulling like the coolest dude. He literally like holds the record for the most BFL wins. Like cool nice. Old salty dog, And so he razzed me a lot, but he was laughing at me at one point because I was trying to cast out the spinning reel and it was rigged up righty. And I was like, he was like, you are the most awkward thing to watch trying to throw that out there.
You didn't turn it upside down. You didn't turn it upside down to reel it right.
It just doesn't feel natural to me to fish right-handed. So I've always fished left-handed.
Okay. And Coley, so you throw right-handed, reel left-handed.
I throw left-handed and reel right-handed. I can throw right-handed, but I can't I can't reel left-handed and set.
So you don't swap though. And so Tiffany, do you throw right-handed and reel left-handed? Or do you throw left-handed?
So I cast with my right hand and reel with my left. So I don't switch hands.
All right. And so what's interesting about that is I didn't really care. I reeled right-handed for like topwater stuff because I felt like I could anything that had a jerk bait, anything that topwater, I felt like I had more control.
Yeah.
And so I reeled righty. When I got into a kayak, that shit pissed me off so much because, you know, there are some things when I throw it and it hits the water, I want to get to it right away. But when I got in the kayak, that shit pissed me off so much. I switched it all off except for my topwater. And I just changed that over to a lefty reel a week and a half ago. But that's the difference is when you're standing up and you can swing it around, it's not a big deal. But you sit your ass in a kayak with your life jacket on and you start trying to do that, especially if you've got longer rods on those butts. It is a pain. But that was interesting to see because you still, I mean, I know a bunch of kayak guys and that's all they do. Right and right. They switch it every time. It drives me nuts. I can't do it.
Tiffany,
well, I
you
just feel like casting,
kayak, don't you?
I have so much more control, like casting or working a frog or something. If it's in my right hand and I'm reeling left, like I just feel like I have that control.
Well, it's my dominant hand, so I can set the hook better, I feel like, with the right hand as well. What were you saying, Coley?
Tiffany, you have a kayak, don't you? I haven't seen you on it recently, but you have the TxBassBabe kayak, I know.
I do. I have a little Lifetime paddle kayak. I only take it on small waters. But yeah, it at least gets me like if I'm at the ranch and I'm, you know, we have a couple larger ponds. So when I'm out on those, it lets me be in the middle of the water instead of only bank fishing. And I'm awkward as F on it, but I'm learning.
Well, we damn for sure know you don't need to try to stand up in it because I probably watched a video of you falling off the boat at least 3 or 4 times.
I've only fallen off the boat once.
I know, but it was a good one.
I did fall in the pond. So about 2 weeks after that fall, I caught a pretty big bass. It was only 5 pounds 8 ounces, but I mean it was a long sucker, big old bucket mouth. It should have been at least a 6-pound bass. It was just skinny.
That's a good kayak bass right there. We don't care how fat they are. Yeah. We just need them long.
No, I didn't measure it because I didn't have my board with me, but I would guess it was probably at least 22. I mean, it was a big bass. But when I went to release it, I'm like recording with my GoPro, being all cute, right? Like gonna put my fish in the water, like big bass.
That's important, Paul. That's important.
My first
feeling
step,
cute. I'm gonna fall in the pond real quick.
My first step, I didn't just fall. Like my feet came out from under me. I just fell straight on my ass. But I held up the bass. The bass was not injured in my fall.
Isn't that one of your bloopers, Tiffany? Don't you have a bloopers reel about that?
I have a few bloopers reels.
Yeah, her bloopers are great. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, she's got some doozies for sure.
Yeah, I would not call myself a graceful Southerner. I'm a little bit of a klutz, but
hey, it happens. It happens. So,
well, you have one of her videos, Paul. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. It went viral. Was it viral on TikTok or Instagram? I can't remember.
Oh, on TikTok, the little baby fish.
She has this awesome video of these little fish under the water with a cool little background noise. And that thing, how many views did that end up getting?
On TikTok, it's got 445,000 views.
It's crazy.
Was that the brim or was that the little fish chasing the crawl?
The little fish, yeah, chasing the lure where it says the claw, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I like the brim one because I had Eminem with.
I like that one too.
2 trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside. That's why I like that one. But anyway, I like
that one too. Yeah, and that one, like literally, when I was out there fishing and I was watching those little bluegills circling around, I was like, That's all that kept going through my head is that song.
Yeah.
That's how these things happen. This is what's in my head, people.
In true Southern fashion, when a country folk sees some fish chasing each other around a pole, Eminem, Two Trailer Park Girls, whatever that damn song is, comes into their head. And that's why, unless you filming both of those fish with your GoPro underwater, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been as active on, I call it Tic Tac because it makes Alec laugh, giggle like a little 4-year-old. And so, yeah, I didn't look at much stuff on the Tic Tac, mostly through the Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not really a TikToker. I post some videos on there. I'm not a YouTuber either, although I posted my very first YouTube video ever today. So we'll see how that goes. But
okay,
it was good. You did a great job on it. Like I said, I commented that you paused to show everybody exactly what it is, how you were setting it up. A lot of the videos, they go by so fast, and I catch myself like stopping and like trying to screenshot and zoom in. But the way you did yours was very, very well done. I appreciated that a lot.
Thanks, Coley.
I'm looking at it right now. Well, I'm not looking at it, but I'm finding your page.
Yeah, it's all of my stuff's just Texas.
Oh shit! Hold on, I lost you because stop. Just switched over my volume. Hold on, I can't hear y'all. Hold on.
Now we can talk smack about Paul, and he can't say anything. I can hear you on the computer.
I just can't hear you in my ears.
Why Paul is gone?
Yeah, here
now taking over the show, people.
I will join you, Tiffany, on your bourbon there. I got my Gentleman Jack handy. Tiffany and I do like our bourbon, that is for sure. Cheers, my friend.
Look. Cheers.
Whoa, I got some too.
Wait.
Cheers. Oh, look. We all got our drinks.
Hold on. Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Coley,
see, this is what happens. Alex ain't on.
When you come visit, we can go to Treaty Oak. It's like 20 minutes from me.
I can't wait. I'm hoping maybe spring when the fish are biting a little bit more. Yeah. That's going to be a fun trip for sure.
We'll go catch some bass on beds.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah. So while Paul's still figuring it out, Tiffany, what is your favorite style of fishing? I think I know the answer to this, but anyone that doesn't know, what is? Hi, Paul, are you back? No? Are you back?
No.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back. Jerk. What is your favorite style of fishing for those that are new to you?
My favorite style of fishing is Texas rigging. It's what I learned. It's what I learned early on, and so it's my go-to. And pretty much every tournament I've fished, I've at least caught one bass on a Texas rig.
Nice.
But yeah, whenever I fish a lot of different things. I've started fishing a lot of swim baits, like small, soft swim baits, but then also hard swim baits, smaller ones. I've tried throwing larger ones and glides, and I'm still like, it's a little intimidating to me. So I'm working my way up to that, but I do like baby bull gills and bull shads. But then I love a Texas rig, and I love Yamamoto Senkos. And I know there's some people think they're too soft and this and that, but I love them.
They're good. I used it today. I went out for the first time, and 4 months, Tiffany, you and I swear, Paul, she jinxed me into having sympathy pain. She couldn't fish for a few weeks, and the next thing you know, I got an elbow issue so bad that I've been out for 4 weeks, and I decided to go out. I went out last night, didn't get anything, but went out today, and sure enough, my Senko, my thin Senko, natural shad on a drop shot, within my third cast, I nailed it, and I was so excited. I was trying to hold the bass and trying to get it. And it was great, but yeah, it's the same for sure. It's wacky rig. I like Texas rig, but all of those are great.
Yeah. So Texas rigging, that's my deal. I fish a lot of other styles too, but that's by far like my clutch, what I go to.
In this, are you mainly stick baits, or do you do curly tail? Like what? Because I know you post a lot of videos on stick baits. You do a stick bait review as well.
So the stick bait review kind of came up because people kept sending me stick baits because I guess I talk about them a lot, and so I would just get like random stick baits from people, and so I started. I was like, well, if I'm going to get all of these, what am I going to do with them? Because I primarily fish Yamamoto. And so I decided, you know, it helps.
Big money.
It helps them out. It helps, you know, my page out by giving me content. And then the small bait makers, they get their name out there with their review of their baits. And I kind of based it off of like Barstool's Dave Portnoy with his pizza review. So that's what I patterned my stick bait reviews after. But yeah, so it's kind of just a fun deal, get their name out there. And I get to try some cool new things. I have some new ones coming in that I'm pretty excited to try.
If anybody wants to send me any baits, if I catch a fish, I will name it and put it on Instagram and show your bait at the same time. I mean, that's all I can offer you. 2,000 views.
You come up with some good names. I gotta say, your son's is the best though. When he named it Fishy, my heart, I was like, "Oh, it's so cute. Here you go, Fishy. Be pretty, Fishy."
Yeah,
I love that kid.
Fishy, Tails, Scales, Spike. I can't remember. He does it, but you know, he comes out there with me, names them, I give them to him, and he usually chunks them back in. So, yeah, that's to me like on the side of being able to take him fishing. He doesn't do a lot of fishing. When we're in the kayak, he sits behind me. We throw his stuff out on a cork with a little jig head and a power minnow. And sometimes he catches stuff, he reels it in, but usually he just like he eats snacks. He waits till I catch a fish, but he usually eats snacks and he just talks nonstop about everything. Mostly right now, Minecraft.
How old is he?
He's 7.
Okay, I have a 6-year-old, and
okay,
very similar. Usually, when I take him fishing with me, we're bank fishing, and he chopped down more trees than he actually fishes.
So I can't take. Yeah, mine doesn't do well bank fishing. He can roam too much.
Yeah.
But when I see him, I put a Tommy Bahama chair in the back of my Hobie PA-14, and so he has nowhere to go. so he talks a lot, and we fish, but it's fun. He gets out on the water, and you know, I fish on the bank a lot, but we had a little beat up ass John boat that we went out on, and that was the biggest thing, was getting out on the water to fish.
Yeah.
But we're out there spending time together, and he does it. But I mean, that's the thing. His names are good, and honestly, those videos do the best. Is the one he names. I mean, you know, it's just a fun. I think it's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have a question for both of you, actually. What are your personal best? Tiffany?
My personal best, largemouth is 5 pounds, 11 ounces.
Nice.
And I caught that one a little over a year ago. And this year I caught a 5.8. That's the closest I've gotten to it.
That one was a tank. I saw that one.
Yeah, but
we'll
see. I got a fishing trip coming up next week, so maybe I'll catch.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
That personal best isn't going to last long if you start getting out on boats more in the area that you're in. Those are going to kind of be, you know, your small ones at the end of the day at some points where you're fishing.
Yeah, for sure. Lake Austin is my home lake, and literally my neighborhood, I have access to it. And yeah, so by next year I'll have a boat.
What kind of boat?
I think I'm just going to get like a little like tracker, like 17-footer. I just want to get out on the water. It's mainly just going to be me fishing by myself. So, and maybe when Coley comes to visit me. But so I don't need a huge boat, but I need something sturdy enough. Like a kayak on Lake Austin, you just can't do it. With the wake boats, it's just too crazy. What you don't see in the video when I fall off the boat is a giant wake had come by, and Jay's boat had kind of floated towards the dock. Our other friend Nathan was hung up on the dock, and so I was going to push the boat so it wouldn't hit the dock. And right when I did that, Jay moved it because the wake was coming. And it was like this split-second decision, like stay on or get off, you know? And I was like, I'm just going to fall straight down.
I froze.
It made for a great bloopers video. So thank you, Jay. Appreciate that.
I didn't catch on video a single fish that day, but I did catch myself falling off the boat.
And you lost your hat.
And you lost your hat. That's
And
right.
I literally had bought that hat the day before.
She gets on the boat. She's like, I lost my hat. That's the only thing she's mad about.
So my
Save the rod
$25
reel.
hat became a $50 hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Nobody seemed concerned. They're like, how's the, what'd they say? How's the current?
Oh, yeah, because those wake boats are crazy. Like they
I
come
bet.
by
Okay.
just flying through and they make huge wakes.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. To bass fish, it's hard. I always feel like I
Yeah.
have like an ab workout by the end of the day from like balancing. Good core strength on Lake Austin.
Yeah.
Didn't y'all have a plane land on the water one time when you were fishing too?
Yeah, I saw that.
I've had a plane land. I've had parasailers, like motorized parasailers going by, like a whole swarm of them. I've seen all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, look, she had
That's
a swarm of parasailers.
Yeah.
Or
There really were like 7 or 8 of them.
Showing the
That's pretty
fishermen
cool.
would lump them in. Showing the fishermen from Jigs and Bigs, aka Jugs and Bugs, would lump them into, as he refers to them, lake louse, aka
Lake
lake
louse.
lice.
I love
But the
that.
parasailers get lumped into the lake lices.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like it literally felt like we were being like dive bombed or something because they had motors on them. So it was
Holy
like
shit!
all of a sudden, like, and it's like 6 a.m. Like we were out there first light, and all of a sudden we just hear this like buzzing coming through, and we all look up and we're like, "Holy smokes!" Like, yeah, we got like a flyby basically.
And it's Texas. Y'all could have been like, "Damn, the mosquitoes are out."
We do have massive mosquitoes here.
Oh yeah, I fought fire in Texas. Coley, to answer your question, mine was 10 pounds 1 ounce.
Woo.
Wow.
The
Yes.
That's
DD.
great.
I'm going
It was
for it.
it was literally pretty much the last year and probably the last month I fished up until November of 2020.
Wow.
Okay.
This would have been 2008. And so I fished a couple times here and there over the next 11 years up until November of 2020.
Oh wow. It's a big break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a huge break. Yes, it's a large pond. It's about 15 acres down in South Carolina, and it's private, can't get into it. And it's been known for some large fish. That summer, matter of fact, we caught numerous. We caught probably 15, give or take a few fish between 5 and 7 pounds. It's just
That's awesome.
it's a place
That's great.
that always got big fish, but yeah, it was quite large. It was big. I've got a picture of it. I actually had a Palm Pilot at the time, so I was able to take a picture.
Is it all gravy?
It's not that bad.
Like this
It is
big.
not that bad.
Like a thumbnail?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
You gotta
it makes a
zoom.
good thumbnail. Yes, it makes a good thumbnail. But yeah, what's your biggest, Coley?
I have 4 pounds, 15 ounces, 1 ounce shy. And my buddy Ben was like, nope, it's not a 5-pounder. Nope, you don't get it. And I tell you, he razzed me about that for a good 3 months. Tiffany, I think you know Ben. He was on me for a while about that. I had about a 9 or 10 pounder on at my home lake, Lake Paris, came up out of the water and pulled a rookie move on the boat. My boater got in the way and I couldn't see where the fish was. And I was trying to keep my cool. Everyone was watching me, and this monster behemoth big mouth just comes up, and I was like, don't lose it. And what did I do? I lifted my rod tip, and she came out of the water, looked at me, and spit it out. And I thought, okay, don't lose your cool. And everyone's like, oh. I was so upset. I had to keep my composure, and I just looked at my angler, and I was just like, really? And he's like, why'd you do that? And I was like, because you were in my way. Your big head was in my way. I couldn't see where the fish was at. So
Well,
that's been my heartbreak this year for sure.
There is no reason to ever keep your cool losing a fish, a big fish, or a fish that costs you money.
Yep.
When one of those two things happen, you let the fuck bombs fly. You let the goddamn whatever you want to say and do. Break a pole over your knee. Throw your boater's shit in the water. You do whatever you want to do at that point.
Yeah.
Well,
because
I had that happen in a tournament. It wasn't that big of a fish. It was probably a 4-pounder, which for a tournament fish is a good fish, to
in the
tournament.
back of a boat, shit, that might win the tournament for you.
And it was like right at the end of the tournament. So it was the last spot we were fishing. And I get him on a Texas rig, and my boater hadn't really caught crap all day. And I caught a couple, and I get him on, I have him right at the boat, and I'm asking him to net it. And so I go to bring the bass to him. Well, the bass starts going under, and I'm like, scoop him in the net. And he's like, let him tire out. And I made a rookie mistake, and I tried to pull it, and it released. And
that's heartbreak.
There were for a good 20 minutes of F-bombs after that, not directed at my boater, but directed at the lake. I was very upset because I knew that fish wasn't going to bite again. And yeah. So,
well, I couldn't, I had to refrain from using any of the, adult language. I was fishing with a 5-year-old and trying to set an example.
Like
and
earmuffs.
I was really pissed at his dad, and I was giving him like daggers were shooting out of my eyes, like the things that I wanted to say. And he's like, why'd you do that? And I just like looked at him, and I was like, and he knows too. He knows he can push my buttons because I won't say anything in front of his son. And I just sat there, and then his kid, Coley, how come you lost that fish? Coley, how come? And I was like, oh, son, you need to go for a swim right about now.
Let me tell you something. Everybody needs to study Ike when bad shit happens.
Yeah.
Because he pitches his fit, he gets that shit out of his system, and he goes back fishing. That shit don't fester and swell up. I mean, get that shit, let that shit out. Look, I didn't know it at the time. My first 2 fish I hooked in my last tournament, both of them came off at the boat. They didn't spit it. It was on a spook. I'd lost fish before on the spook, so I put brand new hooks on. Both of them came off at the boat. They weren't big fish. They were between 14 and 16 inches. Well, come at the end of the day, those 2 fish coming off cost me about $1,800.
Oh.
By the time the tournament ended, I was 4th. And if I'd have caught those 2, I'd have been in first by 10 plus inches.
Yep.
So I didn't cuss because, shit, they were little fish. I'm like, shit, they biting. This was quick too. And I didn't get bites again until later in the day. But anyway, I'm all about letting that shit fly. You let it go out. If you're angry and mad, let it go. Now I ain't gonna tear up my shit because I don't have a lot of money.
Right.
You're not being given it.
No. Yeah. No. So I don't tear my shit up, but I will scream and holler at anything.
I had to keep my cool. So I'll just scream and holler at you next time. How's that?
That works. That ain't no problem on that.
Speaking of which, I saw something today. You had someone posted something about you and your text messaging, text to speech. What was that all about?
So if y'all can't tell, I got a little bit of a drawl, and
Siri needs to get country put in her vocabulary.
Well, I've had iPhone since 2009, so this she should have been done learnt by now.
Yeah,
but she hasn't. And I was texting my wife, voice to text, and I was driving, and so when it would read the message, and I would reply back, and it would just send it, and then I replied with a second message and sent it. I get a message back. What are you talking about? And so I kind of peruse over. I'm like, oh my, what? I'm like, stupid text to talk. And so I voice to text. I can't remember. Hold on, I got to pull it up now. I say, stupid text to talk. And she responds back with, stupid bitch FaceTime to my wife. And so she's like, what? And then finally
your wife was like, what bitch is FaceTiming you?
Yep.
So, and it's just crazy because I drive a lot, so I rely on text to talk, and it's just a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't understand why One of my buddies, Mark, said to slow down. I'm like, dude, if I slow down anymore, I ain't going to be talking.
Yeah.
But it is an enunciation problem. I mean, here, let's do the test. The Bass and Brews Fishing Podcast enunciation test. Tiffany, say the word SAL.
Here we go.
Sal.
Say the word SALMON.
Salmon.
Why? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But there's lots of rules in English that don't make sense.
It's salmon.
It's not salmon.
It's salmon.
Okay.
Salmon.
Look, I'm pretty sure everybody picks on me about that shit, but you know what? I ain't changing. I enunciated worse. It's salmon.
Let's ask Tiffany the next question. Tiffany, do you eat largemouth bass?
Whoa! We ain't. Don't answer that question. Those are at the end. That's on.
All right. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Hold on. She's jumping
the
ahead.
answer to that is
the don't screw up list.
Hold on. That's on the Bass and Brews Don't Fuck Up While Alex is Gone list, and that's exactly
you didn't send me that list. I don't have it. I got nothing.
Well,
you kept your
didn't
co-host
tell me
in
to
the
send
dark,
it to you.
Paul.
Do what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you kept your co-host in the dark.
See, now you know how I feel, Coley. Now you know I'm Alex. You're me.
Okay.
You need to grow your beard out a little bit more.
I'm working. Well, if you're Alex, you need to be a little bit more up close, and you need to get mad at yourself or get mad at me.
I sit in a recliner, so I cannot get any. I can only be relaxed.
Paul does this. This is Paul. He's hold up, just a minute.
I talk with my hands. I mean, that's what I do. It's just, when you're country, you have to get your point across. And usually people are looking at your hands to figure out what you're saying.
Yep. I'm a hand talker too.
Yep.
You can see it in my videos. And I even have to refilm sometimes because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this with your hands?
Why am I making that face? Why is my head moving so much?
Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm a lawyer, so sometimes I have to be stoic in court. And yeah, that's hard.
So that is interesting too. You're an attorney, and so you're this so I can that things show, and that what the point. Shit, I can't even talk right now. What I'm getting at is this: it's like fishing. Fishing is able. It is not a. It can be a class, a class thing or whatever, but.
Fishing doesn't discriminate
at all.
Fishing doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a man, you're a woman, what color you are, if you're a child, how young, how old. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor.
And
now,
that's why
fishing gear discriminates.
But, really?
Well, some fishing gear is crazy expensive.
Oh well, shit, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, expensive shit gear.
There is an affordability, but
But fishing is a prime sport though that you can get good gear for what you can afford. Yep. Like golf, it's hard to get good clubs. There's a price range there, but fishing is a sport that anybody can get into if they have a budget to spend. How little or how small.
I've seen kids catch a 3-pound bass on a kid caster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and for years, I had one spinning reel, and I would fish frogs. I would fish all kinds of things on my spinning reel because it's all I had. I caught my personal best on a spinning reel on a frog.
That's rad.
And now, do I use a bait caster now? And is that what I fish a frog with now? Do I have a whole frog rod? Yes. But back then I didn't. And I just used what I had. And I caught a lot of fish and I caught a lot of big fish. But yeah, I think fishing, it crosses all cultures. Mm-hmm. It crosses all walks of life. And it has brought me together with a lot of my really good friends like Coley.
Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's how we've gotten connected. That's how Alex and I got connected. And that's the thing why kayak fishing over the last 10 years has absolutely exploded is because folks are able to get off the bank, out in the water, and they've been able to do it. You can buy a $200 kayak and do it. You can get a $5,000 kayak and do it.
Yeah.
But the price of entry to be able to get off the bank and into the water is low with a kayak.
Yep.
And so, and you don't need, I mean, honestly, let's be real, when bait lures are what get anglers. And here on Bass and Brews podcast, we don't need fishermen. They either fishers or anglers. We don't call them huntermen. They hunters. So they're anglers and fishers.
I told you my view on that.
I know. Look, I got soap boxes and they're real big. You can fit my big ass in them. But anyway, we'll get off that one. But
I don't have any soap boxes.
But when you get into lures, I mean, honestly, really, you need a top water lure. One, you can have one of you can have 3 spooks, but you only need one. A soft plastic. It's hard to beat a Senko, some kind of stick bait.
Yeah.
Ribbon tail, that's ribbon tail. You can have one. That right there covers. You can fish all the water columns with those 2 baits. So I mean, you don't even have to have a lot of lures. And I'm not a color person. Like if they're gonna bite white, they're probably gonna bite green. Rarely are they just gonna bite the green. That's where I am. I don't fish clear water, and
I fish a lot of colors. I'm very specific with my colors.
Well, and I fish like a red shad is my favorite. I feel like you can fish a red shad Senko in any water.
Mm-hmm.
It can be clear as day. It can be muddy. And I fish a lot of muddy ponds. That's actually, muddy water is my favorite. Like that dirty brown water stained water is my favorite to fish in. But yeah, I mean, color I think sometimes does make a difference, but not always.
Yeah, I'm colorblind, so it kind of. I really don't give a shit.
Color makes more of a difference in clear water than it does in stained water.
Black, blue, and green pumpkin. I mean, and a white. If you have those 3 colors,
can't go wrong with green pumpkin.
Yeah, if you have those 3 colors, and color is an issue. They're gonna bite. They're gonna bite one of those. I mean, ain't no fish can see the fleck in a damn worm. I can promise you. It's the main colors. It's Roy G. Bibb, damn it.
Yeah. Hey, that June bug with that fleck, it's got something special in it.
I do like that June bug. That is a good looking color right there.
Especially at night. I mean, I do think the fleck helps at night when you're night fishing.
So
I think I just commented on your post about that June bug, black. What is it? What did I say? Black and blue at night? Mm-hmm. Something I just put on your post. But yeah, June bug is great.
That brings up good because both of y'all do a good bit of night fishing, at least from your social media posts. Talk about that.
I try to fish every day. I don't always achieve that goal. Like today, I didn't. I had to go into work, and then I had this tonight. So rather than go get all sweaty at the pond, I decided to come home and like put on a fresh face. But I try to fish every day.
Time out. Who comes on a podcast instead of going fishing?
I did. I'm excited for this. This is my first podcast.
We're about to end this shit now because they got y'all. They could be out there catching fish, but instead of that, they on a podcast and my big ass talking junk instead of fish. Oh my Lord! I
try to fish every day, and sometimes the only time I can fish is at night. So sometimes I go late at night.
And sometimes it's better for me at night because the pond that I fish at is real close to my house. So like Tiffany, I do try to fish every day. It's real close by. And a lot of times during the day, it's just too high pressure. Like I go and it's just annoying. Somebody's in my spot. I get there, somebody's in this spot, that spot, all my spots are taken. So if I go at night, I mean, there might be 1 or 2 people there, but nobody's ever in my spot. I got the whole place to myself. It's peace and quiet. I do miss the sunshine, but the bite is on at night. So, I mean, all the fish are for me. Why not go? I feel confident in it. I take my survival tools in case anyone comes up on me. I always got my knife over here, something else over here. But, I mean, you got to go and you can get it in. And sometimes night fishing is the only time I can go. So absolutely. I went today for the podcast. So I did fish.
Do y'all feel like that night bite is more consistent or better?
I can tell you, especially during the summer, like summer here, I'm sure like summer there, it's hot as hell. Like, and to get a bite sometimes, especially in smaller water where the water temperature is really high, it's hard. It's just a hard summer bite in like July, August, unless you go super early in the morning and get that topwater bite or something. But I found at night, I landed I would catch small bass during the day, but I would catch the big ones at night.
Yeah, I would go during the summer. I think I would go maybe 2 or 3 times during the summer, during the day, if I could, if I wasn't working that day. But I would typically get to the pond about 6 o'clock, I'd say, because it's a little bit cooler and I still have light until 8:30 at night. And usually right about 7:05 would be when the big ones would start biting. And that's some of the best fishing. So absolutely. Like I do like the morning bite as well, but it's a little bit different if you're bank fishing as opposed to being on a boat. If you're on a boat and you're out there at, 6:15 a.m. is your first cast, well, absolutely, you're going to get it. But bank fishing, I find it's a little bit better for me in California at night, for sure.
Okay. Plus, it's cooler and you're not sweating to death.
It was a good, I think it was 76 today. It was warm. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. I took a hoodie and I was sweating in workout pants and a tank top. It was gorgeous. So we still have warm weather here right now.
Yeah, it was 74 this week is pretty warm for us. I mean,
Same
down in Austin, you're probably close too.
Yeah, we were in the mid 70s today as well. It had been a little cooler last weekend. It was like in the 60s. It was a little cooler, but it's warmed up over the week.
So now, all right, we're getting into winter, right? Alex and most of these hooks at hoodlums are up in the north and northeast. So they're like wrapping up bass fishing. They're getting freeze over. They're whining and complaining about snow and being little bitches about having to, not do anything all summer or all winter. Neither one of y'all have that problem, right? We're fishing 12 months out of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
My first BFL tournament's in January.
Where's that?
Sam Rayburn.
Oh my God. How lucky.
And I got to fish Rayburn 4 times this year.
And is that pre-spawn for Sam Rayburn in
That'll
January?
Be pre-spawn, yeah. The spawn will probably come around March, which I'll have another, I think we have Rayburn, I think then Toledo, and then back to Rayburn. So I think I'll fish Rayburn again in May. I haven't looked at the schedule, but usually that's about how it is.
So fishing the BFLs, what is your goal? Do you have a goal? And if you do, what is it?
I mean, my goal for this next trail, which like I said, will start in January, is I would like to qualify for the next round. I didn't this year. I missed the first tournament, so I only fished 4 out of the 5. And I think if I had fished that one and caught that, I probably would have made the cut. So that's my goal for this year. Ideally, I'd like to be in the money, but you don't really fish those tournaments to make money because you spend way more than you ever would on hotel rooms and gear than, that you're going to make it at the level that I'm at. But really, every time I get on somebody's boat, my goal is to learn something that day, to take something away from that boater, good, bad, or indifferent, that I can take with me and learn. I have grown in the last year so much as an angler. It's kind of unbelievable to think of where I started and where I'm at right now. So yeah, my goal is to be better and maybe someday be one of the best. And I'm old, so it's not like I'm going to end up in the pros.
Wow.
But maybe someday I can inspire, some of these up and coming young women who are in high school, who are in college, who see my Instagram and may look up to me, to know that they can fish and they can do it and they can actually end up in the pros someday. So
Absolutely.
that's my goals.
I'll disagree with you on this. Your age doesn't, just like the other stuff that we talked about with fishing, age isn't a factor. I played college football. I played with guys who played in the NFL. When you're 32 years old in the NFL, you're an old man. Like your career is you on the downside.
Where'd
You
he go?
froze, Paul.
Fishing when you're 30. Am I here?
You're back.
Okay. Now you're there.
Am I back? Oh,
You're back.
Yeah.
whew, I don't know. I'm like 5 feet from my internet. Anyway, age doesn't matter. Matter of fact, they who was I listening to? Serious Angler had Justin Lucas on today, and he was saying that 28 to like 45 age time frame is the prime time frame for professional anglers.
Interesting.
And so, you build up its experience, right? There's not a lot of athleticism. Now
Sure.
There's something to say for being on your boat fishing for
There's grit.
12, 15 hours for 5 days leading up to a tournament and doing all that. Being on that boat, it is mentally and physically draining.
Yeah.
But you're not, it's not debilitating. So I would tell you that no, you're not old. You're young. I don't know how old you are, but you're not old. Like you can be 60 years old and still be fishing. I mean, there's no, you don't get put into any kind of hole for age as long as you're physically able to do what you need to do to catch fish.
Sure.
And Tiffany, I'll tell you what, like you and me and some of the other lady anglers that we are close friends with, we're out there doing a lot more than people half our age are doing. I mean, we're out there grinding, we're putting in the time, and I'm doing more than some of the younger guys I know. Like they can't keep up, and it's definitely a grind, and you got to get up early, you got to get enough sleep. And Tiffany, you and I, neither of us ever get more than 4 hours before a tournament. The night before, and then we get up the next day and drink our coffee or energy drink and donuts. We got to have our donuts to get our energy going. But it does take a lot. And to what you're saying, Paul, like I don't think age has too much to do with it. Like if you're set on doing it, like girl, go get it. Look how far you've come. And the fishing Instagram community has just been amazing. Like I remember reaching out to Tiffany before I even knew her that well, and I was like, hey, I've never caught a frogfish before. I don't really know what I'm doing. And she's like, you've never caught a frog? And I was like, no, I never caught a frogfish. So she kind of, set me up with something and showed me how to do it. And I reached out to other different people, and we've been able to learn and to grow. And whether it's watching YouTube or watching other people's Instagrams or just reaching out to people that we admire and that we think are good anglers, like, hey, and I'm not afraid to say it. Like in the beginning, I was a little intimidated, but how are you ever going to learn if you don't ask? So I'll ask some of the best people, like, hey, how'd you do that? Can you send me a picture of how you rigged that? Max at Third Eye Fishing, I asked him how to rig his Nako croc, because I want to make sure that I was doing it right, and he sends me pictures and videos. So it's been really, really cool. And we're really fortunate to have so many people that are able to help and like help each other grow. It's awesome.
And I will say, like the fishing community, even the boaters I've had, in the BFL, they've all been amazing, with the exception of maybe one. But for the most part,
always one.
There's always one.
Always one motherfucker that just has no couth.
But for the most part, everybody has been super supportive of me. Like even going through this whole like tournament experience, it was new for me. And like I said, I didn't grow up in a family where this was normal. I think my family actually thinks I'm a little crazy with as much as I fish and as much as I put into this. But having that support like on Instagram and people cheering me on, you know, kind of from the sidelines, it really does inspire me to want to do more. And it really has lit a fire in me and given me a passion to keep doing this. And if you had asked me 3 years ago if I would be a tournament angler, I would probably tell you you're crazy. And now I couldn't imagine not doing it. So.
And so now
whether or not I'll ever make it to the pros, I'm not even good at driving a boat right now. So
that's okay. That's okay.
Long way to go.
Yeah, but see, you have the drive. You're smart. So now all you need is the knowledge.
Yeah.
You just need the time on the water. You need to. I mean, it comes down to two things: to catch fish, you got to find the fish.
Yep.
And you got to know and you got to find how they're going to eat it, slow, fast, whatever, right? So you start to break down those two items, and you get knowledge built up on certain bodies of water and weather and all this and that. Like you start to be able to make those advances. You start to be able to become an angler, above average angler. I mean, that's the biggest part there. And it's the drive that takes there. And Coley, I don't think we talked about this on yours. What are your plans for competition fishing coming into the next year?
Well, I met Tiffany on Lady Slayers and met a lot of really, really awesome people doing that. I had so much fun. I did have a bit of a struggle. Bank fishing is a lot tougher because I started out, on a really nice Ranger bass boat. So it was really easy. And then as the season continued, I didn't have access to that boat anymore. But I definitely, I had such a great experience. Even if I went out there and, I think I got skunked on 2 tournaments. And I'll tell you, this one right here, she was my cheerleader because I would text her. I'm like, man, wait, this one. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Not this one, that one. Sorry. She really cheered me on and encouraged me not to give up. And, I was getting up at, 4:30 in the morning after 2-3 hours of sleep. And I was trying to plan out my waters and where am I going to go and pond hopping and going to different lakes. And the lakes aren't that close to me. I got to drive an hour and a half to get to a decent lake. And then if I've never, bank fished there before, like I know it like the back of my hand on a boat, but I definitely think I'm going to do Lady Slayers again and give it another go. And I keep learning and I keep growing and trying new things. I think I told you on my episode, I got a bait caster. I got a new rod. So I think I'm going to make a big purchase here and get myself a DC Corrado because that's really what I want. I'm debating, but I got to use my friends and I really, really liked it. And I thought, you know what? Merry Christmas to me. Why not? Right. Yeah. So that's probably going to be my next big purchase. And I'm going to teach myself. Ask the guys at the pond. They're super supportive of me and they help me out a lot when I fish with the boys at the pond. And then there's always YouTube and all my friends on Instagram. I reach out to them. So who knows? Maybe there might be something a little bit bigger for me in the future. My buddy with the boat, he likes to do a lot of tournaments. So you never know. Like I'm not going to say no, but just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. But it's definitely something I'm interested in.
You going to get a yak?
What's that?
So you going to get a yak?
Yeah, I'm debating on that one as well. I really want the Old Town Minn Kota 106. I'm really looking at that one. I just, like you, if you're going to have it, you got to have a truck. And right now I don't have a truck and I'm sure I could make it work, but.
You don't have to.
It's hard
It is hard. Yes,
yeah.
It is hard. There's
the factor you're forgetting, Paul, is we are women. To load and unload a kayak from the top of my car, even my little kayak that's only 50 pounds, is a lot for me without denting up my trunk.
Well, first of all, if it's going to be a fishing vehicle, if it ain't got scratches and dents, ask Wild Bill. His kayak has slid off the front of his car like 16 times, and he still keeps doing it.
Yep.
Anyway, look, y'all just got to pretend like it's somebody you don't like. That kayak has no chance.
Yeah.
No, but yes, it is hard to car top. Look, I've got a truck, and there was no way in hell if my truck broke down, I had to car top this in our Camry. I would figure out. I would take the seats out, the trunk.
Yeah.
Like I would have it. It would. Yeah.
That's what I got too.
It's
So I'm
hard
grading
to
it in
car
for a
top. It
4Runner.
is.
There you go. I
Very
have
good.
the soccer mom little crossover SUV, and when I bought it, it was for driving Uber, and it was perfect. And I didn't really fish that much then, and now it's like I can barely get my 7.2 rod in there. Like it's bent on the top, and trying to think about doing a kayak. But who knows? I mean, the dream would obviously be to have a Raptor and have a nice boat that I can pull behind my Raptor, but yeah, kayak might be something that I'm definitely interested in. I still I don't like to jump in head first, especially if I haven't tried it. I don't. I like to try things out.
I will say
Yeah.
getting out on the water does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And you're going to be right
Coley,
back.
Coley's in charge.
Coley's in charge. Yeah.
This sign is the I gotta go tinkle sign. That's Paul's I gotta go tinkle sign.
They should have done the dance.
I know. They don't know the dance. They don't know how to do that yet.
But yeah, I mean, getting out on the water, it makes a huge difference in general.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's why I'm like, gonna get me a SUV, gonna get me a boat.
Yep.
Because that's the only way I'm gonna get better. And
even
bait fishing, I love it and it's fun, but
you can only go so far.
Yep.
Yeah. Even watching Nathan with his birdie board out there. I mean, that takes some serious skill. I watched his last video and he was paddling and I was like, dang, that's a lot of work. And then when he lands a big one, but you know what? Like that's an adventure too. And those aren't very expensive. And it's getting you back out on the water, which is like you said, it's a game changer. And that's all I need. I just need to get out a little bit further. And I know I can have a blast doing it. It's just, if I can't test out a kayak that I like, I don't want to go and spend $3,500 on a kayak if I've never tested it before, because let's say I don't do well because I don't sit long for very well. I'm an active person, but on the Minn Kota, you can actually stand on it. It's stable enough. So that would be something that I'm looking forward to, whether I try a friend's out or however I'm going to demo it before I buy it. But that's my hesitation, is I just want to try it out first.
Have you reached out to any like kayak dealers to talk to them about if they'll lend you a demo?
I have not. Actually, a buddy of mine works at Kayak City up north near my brother. It's about 2 hours away from my brother. So I kind of want to plan a trip to drive up there and then stop off there and kind of talk to him, because I know he has the one. His name's Brandon, and he has the one that I want. And he's actually the one who said this would be a good fit for me. So there's a couple other anglers up there that I want to fish with. The owner of Phoenix Rods as well, Vince, he's awesome. So I just got to get the time set aside. With 6 different jobs, it's kind of hard to take a road trip right now.
It's only 6. It's only 6.
Yeah, only 6. Yeah, I wake up and don't know what day it is or where I'm supposed to be, and it takes me 5 minutes to orientate myself. But I do want to make a road trip up there and hopefully come back with one. That would be really exciting and really fun. Plus, get to fish with a few people from Instagram up there. It would be really awesome. Oh yeah, and visit my brother too.
Yeah, eventually I'd like to get myself a good like kayak with a trolling motor.
Yeah.
So that's also on my list, because I do like kayak fishing.
And Tiffany,
it's hard to control right now though in that small little kayak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, thanks for taking over, Coley. I had a cricket in the corner. I had to get out of the room. So Coley, let's you are connected with a lot of kayak anglers. So to be able for you to demo one, I'm pretty sure we can make that happen. Anybody listening right now, this is Tuesday, but on Friday this will drop. If anybody listening right now, shoot Coley a message if you have some kayaks for her to try out. Where are you at in the Cali area?
I'm in Southern California in Orange County, but most of the lakes that I fish are San Bernardino County or LA County.
Okay. So anybody that could help a dealer that would have a couple on site, because I know California has a lot of kayak anglers in it. Let's help an angler out. Let's help them
I've been trying to find a place that thank you. I've been trying to find a place that'll rent one, and I can find standard kayaks to rent, which I did in Michigan, and that's a whole nother ball game because I didn't even have the right life vest on, and but you can't. I don't understand why nobody rents fishing kayaks anywhere.
We're forget that. Don't be renting nothing. We're going to get you set up with a dealer. somewhere in that area, a dealer where you can go try out 8 kayaks in one
Have
day.
them ready.
Yep. I mean, that's
That would be good.
and they're out there. We'll find you one for sure.
Right
So-
on, right on.
Sometimes you just
you know
got to
what?
put it out in the universe.
Yep, that's true. I did that today. I said, please, Lord Jesus, give me one fish. I don't care how big or how small. And I got a 2-pounder, but with my elbow hurting so bad, I was reeling it in. I was so excited. I was like, I can't lift this sucker up. I was going to flip him, but I was going to reach down to get him. And I'm like, I don't have the strength in my arm even to pick up a 2-pound fish. So I took a deep breath and I said, please don't let me lose it. And I flipped him up on the bank and was able to get him. But yeah, I put it in the universe and it definitely delivered. So I was very happy about that today.
See, you've caught so many damn fish. Ain't nobody on Instagram known that you ain't been fishing in the last 4 weeks unless they listen to this podcast. That's how
One
much,
person called me out.
that's how many damn fish you catch and how much shit that content you create is that for 4 weeks you ain't been fishing and nobody would know.
Tiffany,
That's
how was it
impressive.
for you?
Huh?
I went 3 weeks without fishing, and I still put up content every day. But I like reserved content. I like saved it up because I knew I was having a surgery, so I knew it was coming up. So I was like, don't give into the temptation to post this picture. I literally made like a little folder of like, these are pictures to post later. Do not post them now. Do not post this video. And then I recycle. I mean, I still recycle content sometimes because it's hard. I try to post 2-3 times a day if I can. And some days that's hard.
That's really hard.
Yeah, but 2-3 times a day is a lot. Like my goal was when I grew my channel the most, it was once a day, and that's where the naming the fish came in. That's kind of how I did. So if I went fishing and caught 10 fish, that was 10 posts that I could make on that. And so what's funny on that, little side note, what's funny on that, we had my sister and a couple other people texting my wife, and I'm like, hey, are you okay with Paul fishing that much? And she was like, and I've had to tell other people, like, man, all you do is fish. I'm like, no, not really.
It just looks that
I
way.
go fishing like once a week, but if I catch 5 fish, then and that shit adds up. But anyway,
yeah, I go to Oklahoma a lot to fish with Sawyer Buck at Fishing and
he's so
Froth with my
cute.
little buddy. He's so rad. He's the best. So I go out there to fish, and I'm always tagging, Oklahoma, hashtagging it where my location is, and people will hit me up 2-3 weeks after I'm home. They're like, "Are you back home yet? Can we hang out?" And I'm like, "I've been home for 3 weeks." They're like, "Oh, I thought you're still in Oklahoma." I'm like, "That was a month ago." But I still, put wherever I caught the fish at. But yeah, it's a good time out there for sure.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's something to say too about relative content. So Alex and I talked about doing this podcast and having recording podcast, but then coming out like 2-3 weeks later. So that way we always had a podcast lined up because we knew he was going to be out and doing this. And we did that. We were a podcast ahead. And both of us one day, it's so funny, both of us one day were kind of texting. I'm like, dude, I feel like we missed it. He goes, man, the same thing. Like we had this conversation. It's that relevancy of posting. And so I've got a lot of posts right now that I caught fish towards the later end of summer that I want to put on Instagram. But I might catch 10 fish this weekend when I go. And so it's more in tune with what's going on now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to keep y'all too long because we got to do a rapid fire questions or Alex will have my ass. And I cannot get.
It's like a 3-hour podcast.
Oh shit! Look, I cannot get fired from this podcast because it's the only one that someone was stupid enough to bring me on to. But I have one last question before we get to that. Now, if we venture off into some other bullshit, then we can. But the YouTube side of it, Tiffany, you just posted it.
Yep.
Coley,
yeah.
YouTube, Tiffany, YouTube. Like, where is that something y'all want to grow, or is it something that feels more like a hindrance to you?
So I'll say I've had my YouTube channel for a while with no videos on it. And I've had, I wouldn't call it pressure from people, but I've had a lot of people ask me, when am I going to start posting YouTube? When am I going to make YouTubes? And honestly, like, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to YouTube. Like video editing, that whole thing, I do not know. I don't know what I'm doing. So it's a little intimidating for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do want to grow it. I'm a Cast King rep, so I'm one of their KBAs, and Cast King, wants YouTubers, and they would like to have a female, and I'm, one of their female KBAs, and so I said I would give it a go, and so I'm giving it a go, and we'll see how this plays out. But it's a very different kind of media, and so I'm used to short videos. I make a lot of reels. I make a lot of little short, promo videos for different products, product reviews. And that's what I'm comfortable doing, like a 3-minute video. Whereas, and probably my YouTube videos, I'll keep them to 5 to 7 minutes. I won't make them super long because.
But even with your, making a 3-minute reel, like Darlene said the other day, who was it that said it? I can't remember. But even making a 3-minute reel, it'll still take you 20 or 30 minutes sometimes to like get the timing right and get everything right. And then you're looking at TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I think you do Facebook. I don't do Facebook, but you have the Facebook. And then you're also a lawyer, and then you're a mom, and then you have to find personal time. Like y'all are an inspiration that do all that stuff and keep up on it, because I'm new to my GoPro. I really, really like it, but I'm new to that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy the adventure kit. And I strapped it on and I went out and I'm like, GoPro record, GoPro stop. And I mean, my footage is crap half the time because it's like, I can't see. So I'm like, where's the fish? And I'm like doing one of these, trying to get it in there. But man, some people are putting out some amazing, I do that. I'm like going like this, but they're putting out some amazing content. Some of our friends, Tiffany, they're putting in some time and some hours. Dust Off Fishing, Fish Atex, Freshwater Fatties, like a lady with a lure. Oh my gosh, that woman's like the queen of reels. But all of them are just absolutely fantastic. And for me, it takes a little bit of time. So more power to you. And we talked about doing a YouTube channel called Greg and the Nanny, because the little boy and his dad that have the boat are Greg and Gregory. And it was Greg and the Nanny. And it was just basically going to be us fishing and talking shit the whole time. But he's like, I don't know how to do it. You got to teach me how to do it. And I'm like, I can't teach you everything. He's like, he's a good old boy. And he's like, you got to show me how to do YouTube. I'm like, you got to make me the star. I'm not going to do it. So, but we have fun. So it's a lot of, for me, a lot of pressure. I would love to be able to learn how to do it, but I have to find the time in the 5 free minutes a day that I have to learn how to edit and get all the fancy tools. Cause I mean, Tiffany, you're killing it on your reels and all that good stuff. So, and your first YouTube was really, really good. So I don't know how you did it. So you're gonna have to teach me.
I don't know how I did either. It took me 20 minutes just to post it today. Like I already edited it and put it all together. And then I was like, this morning, I was like, oh, I'm going to post that. I'm going to go ahead and put that out today. And I'm like at work, like in my office. And I'm like, I'm just going to post this real quick. And like my boss walks by, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and it literally took me a good 20 minutes to post the video.
You should. It's a trespass. It's a fishing trespassing thing. I don't know if you're defendant, lawyer, or attorney, or whatever you're.
I do construction law.
Construction law?
Yes, sir.
Oh, did you just fucking call me sir?
There's no proper English when you're talking to Paul. Key country.
It's a Southern thing.
You're right.
It's
you're
a
right.
Southern thing. I can't help it. My manners were ingrained in me.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, you're all nice to her about it, but a couple of weeks ago you ripped me a new one.
That's because you're West Coast.
For what? Yeah,
West Coast is the best coast.
Yeah. Look, the weird coasters ain't mean nothing what they say. Oh, well, either she's frozen or she's pissed.
Oh, pissed. The daggers. I could never be mad at you. Come on. You're my buddy. You're my homie.
It did look like you were like.
Yeah, I know. Look,
I think I was frozen because I'm smiling on my end. Maybe I was frozen. I don't know.
Look,
no.
We lost her.
And now we lost her.
We lost her. Her phone died.
Oh, do you think that is?
Yeah. Had to have been. That's the only time this happens. Oh, shit. Damn, if both of y'all leave, it's just going to be me. And this podcast is going downhill really quick. We hadn't even got to Alex's shotgun questions or whatever the fuck he calls it. So until Coley comes back, this is why. So on the let me see if she's texting. Nope. On the YouTube side, like for me, what y'all talked about exactly why I didn't want to do.
Here she is.
Your phone died?
No, it just said something went wrong, and then I had to take it off Wi-Fi. I think my damn neighbors are stealing my Wi-Fi again. I don't know. I went up in the attic and I saw all these cables. I was like, what is going on?
Well, I mean, is it that, or y'all at the funeral home and they're having a procession or something and they're stealing the Wi-Fi?
Look, I know someone who's going to be looking for a coffin right quick. Keep it up, Paul. Keep it up.
Well, you already got the flowers.
Yeah.
You shut up, Tiffany. They're giving me a pile of crap.
She said you already got the flowers for my funeral.
You don't get no flowers, Paul. I'm going to take a bottle of Evan Williams green label and I'm just going to pour it on top of your casket for you. There you go.
Coley, I tried to warn you before you signed up to be the guest co-host that your ass was going to get picked on. So
and
Coley knows how I am.
2 weeks ago, I drank a White Claw so y'all could pick on me. I gave you some ammunition. Today, I brought this beautiful tropical scenery because I'm like, what can I do to give Paul something extra to pick on me for? And I was going to wear a flower in my hair too, but I didn't go out in the yard and pick one. I forgot.
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, you got 18 fake ones behind you. They weren't ever going to wield.
Yeah, look at it. Those are real. Those are beautiful flowers. I'm gonna send you some flowers, Paul.
Oh my God, Alex is gonna kill me. So we're an hour and 22 minutes, and we're not done because Coley, when your neighbors stole your Wi-Fi and you dropped, what I was saying is what y'all were talking about from the YouTube side. Like that's my whole thing. I have hundreds of hours now of fishing content of me catching fish, of me talking to the camera. I'm a vocal person. What you see now is subdued to what it is when I'm by myself on the water because I'm self-deprecating very much. I talk a lot of shit to myself. I call myself a dumbass, a stupid motherfucker. I mean, I talk to myself very badly on the water for doing stupid shit. And I get hung up a lot because I cuss at myself a lot anyway. So on the YouTube videos, my idol is kayak catfish. And Alex is gonna be mad. He's like, you gotta start charging that motherfucker for how many times you call him out on our podcast. I'm like, well, he has like 100-something thousand subscribers on YouTube. But he edits his stuff. He has to. But it's simple. He doesn't have a lot of cuts. He doesn't have a lot of edits. He doesn't do a lot of special shit. His intro is an iMovie intro from when he started in like 2014. So it's very basic. But my biggest thing is with YouTube is people want to see like the successful fishing channels now that are growing now that haven't been doing it for 10 years like Gene Jensen and those. They catch big fish. So to be successful in that YouTube realm, you got to catch big fish or you got to be in a lot of pain. Like people want to watch you be in emotional and physical pain. look at some of the videos that go viral. It's people falling out their kayaks. It's people getting hooked in the face. It's people getting hooked in the hands. It's people losing a big fish at the boat. Like, they want to see you in pain. But outside of that, to create that content, though, it takes time to do that. And it's not that I don't have time. I don't want to dedicate time to sit down and watch a bunch of shit fishing that I just went through personally.
Yeah.
To put it. So that's why I'm sitting on hours of video right now, is because I don't want to put it together. I just haven't figured out how to make it worthwhile to me to put it out there. Because I just hadn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
It is a lot of work, and even just going through the video to find what clips you want is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. Kudos to those who do it. Like, I'm so impressed when I see those like compilations, and I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
Look, there's two people here locally. One of them's been on the podcast, Slab Dynasty, on YouTube and Instagram. Follow Slab Dynasty. They put out some super duper good content.
Cool.
And they're local. And then the other one is Jamie Fagerty, and he's local here to North Carolina too. And his videos are amazing. He doesn't put out a ton, but when you watch his video, you'll see why. So those are two folks that have great content, beautiful content. But that just ain't me. I don't want to put that. I don't want to spend the time. And if I ain't catching fish or big fish, I don't want to put that shit out there.
Right.
That's just me. But it depends on where you feel like you fit in the niche that you can create. If you can find that little niche and you put out 6-minute videos, maybe that's it.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because, like, even on Instagram, like, I've been posting a lot more reels. I think they're fun.
Yep.
But for a long time on my Instagram, like, I would look at the insights and I would look at, which of my posts were getting like the most, attention. And it was almost never a post of me with a fish. It was like me holding my fishing pole, smiling next to the pond.
Your golf
staring
swing.
off to the sunset, little fish swimming around.
You did so it's like golf swing too, right?
But then I have a cast to catch of a big old bass, and nobody gives a crap. So
I can't remember who we talked to, but they posted about. Oh no, it wasn't anybody we talked to. So it was I'm forgetting his name right now. It'll pop up later. But anyway,
that's that 8%, Tiffany. He drinks these 8.8% beers, and he gets his second one, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I can't remember what I'm talking about."
Girl, y'all only seen the two I drank on air. It wasn't at 8 before. But anyway, look, if y'all can still understand me, we good. So Larry Melton Jr. He was on a podcast. I can't remember which one. It might have been Burley Fishing. Yes, it was Burley Fishing podcast. Larry Melton Jr. He talked about how he would make a video catching fish or catch big fish. He'd be like, "This is awesome." And then he would make a video of him walking around Bass Pro Shops, picking out lures and putting them in his bag or his basket and talking about them, and how that one would get 10,000 more views than the one of him catching a fish. And that's why when I talk about YouTube, I go to catfishing. He catches big ass fucking catfish in a kayak. And so people want to see you catch big ass fish. And so that's where we go to. But so for my Instagram, the videos that do the best for me are anytime I post something like a reel of my honeybees or my dogs eating cabbage.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stony and Otis. Or something with my son. Those
kids always do well.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, my two best reels on Instagram are little fish. The two videos we talked about earlier, the one where they're chasing the little things, and I put it to the claw.
The claw, yeah.
And then the one of the bream going in circles, and I put it to Eminem.
Brim.
Brim.
Brim. There you go.
I call them bluegill. They're all bluegill to me.
Yeah, some fish. My best reel
growing
was,
up, we called
yellow.
them all perch, and I don't know why, but that's what we called them, perch. Any kind of
all right,
sunfish.
Alex, time out, Coley. Alex is literally going to shoot a brick.
Let's do the shots fired. Because I don't want to not be invited again. So, and it's going to be your fault because I said 10 minutes ago, okay, and nobody heard me. So let's go.
First of all, we've got like 4 months where Alex is going to be out on a fucking boat with no internet service, so he ain't got no say in what happens. So you good.
The wrath of when he comes back, though, I respect him. I respect him and his service.
You know what? I do too, but he can't get rid of me. I'm too pretty.
This is true. You bring the looks to the show. This is true.
So, Coley, do you have anything else for our guests, Miss TxBassBabe? We
covered everything that we were going to talk about. I had some little notes, and either you brought it up, or she brought it up, or I brought it up. And she's an awesome angler, as you like to say, or fisher, as you like to say. She's a fisherman to me, but nope. She's amazing and a good friend and has great content. And just if y'all don't follow TxBassBabe, go check her out because she's got some pretty great content out there for sure.
Okay, we're not at that point in time where you start doing that. Back it up a little bit. Rewind. Take all that back. Take it back. Take it back.
Take it back.
Okay.
I take it back.
All right. So before we get into our shotgun rapid fire, whatever bullshit Alex tried to name it, because I can't remember, I have one question for you. I have one question for you, Tiffany, being from the Austin area. I used to be a wildland firefighter. I spent 2.5 weeks doing training in Bastrop, and I stayed at the airport in Austin during this time. So I was driving back and forth. On my drive there's a little teeny shack called Benny's Texas Barbecue. Have you ever eaten there? Benny's?
I have not eaten at Benny's. I've eaten a lot. Huh?
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say, I've eaten a lot of the famous barbecue places in Texas. But Benny's.
Lockhart, Cruz, those.
Black.
So Benny's Texas Barbecue is, I think it's called Cedar Hills. It's almost halfway between Austin and Bastrop on whatever road.
I go there 71. I go there all the time.
So they're still open. I checked. Benny's Texas Barbecue. If you're headed from Austin to Bastrop, they're on the left. It is a little teeny ass shack.
All right.
Let me tell you, I ate barbecue for 2.5 weeks there. His shit was the best. I ate there for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Every time I went by there, I got food and ate there. Eat there.
What did you eat?
Everything he cooked. Because I cook a lot of barbecue.
Like the brisket, the ribs,
Oh, yes, brisket and ribs. He cooked pork a couple times during those 2 weeks.
Pulled
and he
pork
was like,
or pork belly?
Well, it's pulled pork.
Okay.
And so he was like, hey, man, tell me about this pork, because I was obviously from the Carolinas. I cooked a lot of pulled pork. I didn't do a lot of brisket, other stuff. Texas barbecue is a lot different from the Carolina barbecue.
Yeah.
But so I hung out with Benny, and we had a damn good time. Go by there. It is some good-ass barbecue, and if you hadn't eaten there, it's the best barbecue in Texas. I'm going to say it right now.
I'll try it. I will.
All right. So, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
I said I will. I'll try it.
You shall. All right. One last before we get into the lightning round. Well, Coley, you said you were doing a shot tonight.
I did one already.
Well, there's only one person not holding.
My parents are going to kill me.
Are they listening to this?
Yes.
Oh my God! Hey, Coley's
parents. All right. Mom, I'm sorry. Paul made me do it.
Shotgun round next. Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Shit, I swallowed wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm not. This shit hurt.
That made the whole night worth it.
All right. All right, Tiffany, as Alex likes to say, these next round of questions will pretty much dictate your success moving forward as a content creator. We've had people that have answered questions here that have quit and ended their podcast shortly after. We've had other
Very
people who have
important.
disappeared
No
from the
pressure.
face of the fishing earth. We've had others sell their shit, and we've had people like Wild Bill lose his flops. So these are very important questions.
All right.
All right. And there's no wrong answer. But
So the
there
fate of
are
my fishing career hinges on this.
Well, I don't
Absolutely.
know. That's up to you. But there's no wrong answers, but there are answers that will get you ridiculed.
Okay.
All right. Coley, we ready to start this?
Let's start it. Is this shots fired?
Is that what Alex called it?
Shots fired. Pew, 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 pew,
Oh,
pew.
pew, 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 pew.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right, Coley, first one's yours.
I can't read that. Welcome to Bass and Brews.
No, the one below that.
Crocs or
Oh,
flip flops?
okay. This is one that's dear to my heart, and you're gonna know my answer. Crocs or flops?
I wear flip flops over Crocs, but I actually wear Tevas.
Okay. So we're gonna go
Flip
flops,
flops,
right?
Yeah, I don't own a pair of Crocs.
Good, because there
I own like 50 pair of flip flops.
you go.
I do have some Croc-like Sperry's that are loafers.
Oh my God! Now we getting into
You want to
elitist
see them?
talk. Now we getting into elitist talk. Sperry's? Oh my God!
Look, aren't they cool?
Yeah, those are cute. Those I could do. I just
my
can't
God.
do
Like
the
a Croc,
Crocs.
But it's
Send
a
me a
Sperry.
link.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Okay,
send me
that's
a
a good
link.
one. All right, so we're flops on that one.
Yeah, flip flops for sure.
Okay.
Coley, can you see the text I sent you for the next question?
Well, if I'm on my phone, you silly goose. Hold on. Oh, did I lose
do
you?
not call me one of your babies.
Yeah, that's one of my babies for sure. Oh yeah. Okay, now I got to get back to you. Okay. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Hmm.
No.
So you're
I'm
on
a Southern
Paul's
girl.
team.
We're like pepperoni, maybe like mushrooms or olives. Sometimes
Pineapple,
a cream that has
bell
all, we called it
peppers.
garbage pizza growing up, where it has all the things, but not
Yeah.
pineapple.
Some
I'm from the
rattlesnake.
West Coast. We have pineapple in our pizza.
That's a California
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you're right. It totally is for sure.
Tiffany, unfortunately, no, it has got a stronghold somehow in North Carolina as well.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like pepperoni is a salty, and then you get pineapple. It's the sweet. Like it's kind of like that sweet and savory.
I like pineapple on my shish kebabs when I grill.
Okay. Well, I don't even put pineapple on my pizza anymore. I put dill pickles on my pizza. So
Oh, fuck me.
yeah,
I put dill pickles in a fryer.
you put dill pickles on a cheese pizza. You cook it a little bit, then you smother mustard all over that sumbitch. That's good.
Mustard on a pizza?
What the
With
fuck
pickles,
are you
yes.
talking about?
Don't judge it until you try it. It's good.
I've had
Pickled
mustard on
pizza.
potato chips.
Yep, that's good too.
That's
and
good.
my fries.
All right.
Okay, Alex
we're
is gonna
going
kill
off
it.
the
Alex
rails.
is gonna kill it.
But, Tiffany, there's no after rails on Bass and Brews except when
Okay.
Alex is here. Like right now, he would be so stressed out right now. He'd be doing this shit right here. Like, okay, Paul. All right, okay. All right.
That's
All right.
not true.
I can't do his voice. It's very poor. It's very poor. Alex, I'm sorry for making you sound like
All right, let's go. Next question. I'm gonna be Alex. I'm gonna keep you in line.
Coley,
That ain't never gonna
fuck that shit
happen.
up. You can
My hair's crazy.
stop. You know, messing
Okay.
up.
What do we got?
All right. You spend more on a rod or a reel?
I have spent more on reels than I have rods, but yeah. But I could see buying a good rod that would cost more than a reel, if that makes sense. I gotta pick one.
Yes.
I guess I'd go reel.
More on a reel. Okay.
Send me another text.
And look, that's yes. And that is so that's to me that's a fair question, right? Because I think there are certain tactics and techniques that a rod is more important, and certain techniques
finesse.
where a reel is more important.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
And I completely agree with that. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite reels is a $50 reel. So there's that.
Which reel is that?
My
Can you say it?
My Cast King Crixus.
Okay.
It's a basic bait caster, and I've caught all kinds of fish on it. So, and it hasn't let me down.
Whatever gets the lure from your hand to the fish and back in the boat, that's all the fuck that matters. Yep. My daddy outfished me and a bunch of my friends with a Zebco 33.
Yeah.
We also went dove hunting, and he shot more doves than all of us with a bolt action shotgun. Boom. We're out there with semi-automatics, and he's done 2 hours before we even get started. Anyway,
we're coming close to 2 hours right now. And Alex is going to string us both up right now. Okay, Tiffany, next question. 3-hour fishing session. 3-hour fishing session. Would you rather catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
1 7-pounder.
Yes, that's my girl right there.
I can catch 2-pounders anytime I want. I have never caught a 7-pounder.
So that is almost my exact answer. The first time I was on this podcast was a 7-pounder. I said, 7-pounder. I can catch 2-pounders all day long. Yep. That's exactly what I said.
Now
I said 1 10-pounder.
Some places that aren't like the South, catching 2-pounders is a big deal.
Yeah.
Here.
Now, look, in this question, so Alex doesn't competition fish, right? I do. Like, I don't, if you've never listened to this podcast, I don't fun fish. Like, every time I go fishing, like, there's a reason. I'm practicing for something. And so he doesn't competition fish. And so, like, from a competition standpoint, well, I want the 5 2-pounders because the limit is the limit's the important part. But we take this from a standpoint of our personal preference, money not involved. We've had people say they'd like to catch 5 2-pounders because you know what? That's 4 more tugs on the line than they would have had with that 7.
Yeah, but that 7 one, that's the one that keeps you up in your dreams.
Yep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I know the answer to this one. And I'm going to ask it anyway because Coley be done jumping the damn gun the whole damn podcast. Wacky
well,
Rig.
I asked you for an outline and you said, oh, it's free for all. There's no script. No script. We're an hour and 44 minutes in. I don't know. It was an important question. I wanted to ask it.
You never asked me for an outline.
You don't even need to ask me. Texas Rig all day.
Nope, it's not. But Paul, I did too. Check your text messages.
Look. We 3 friends sitting around a campfire drinking beer. Ain't no script with this shit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Coley,
I like a Texas Rig over a Wacky Rig. In a Texas Rig, you can even fish it weightless. So I'm like,
oh yeah.
The movement's similar to a Wacky Rig, and I get a whole lot more bites on that.
What kind of music do you prefer? Slow jams or hype music? See, there she goes. I already know.
Slow jams.
What?
It's an RV session?
You did this? You went slow jam?
Slow jams.
No.
Yeah.
No. I said, what kind of slow jams? No.
Oh, like,
no.
I don't know.
Hype
ballads.
Music.
Slow jams, ballads. What, R. Kelly? Isn't that what somebody picked one time?
Yeah.
Or hype music.
Yeah. Look,
hype music.
Do you?
I want to be pumped.
Do you want music that makes you want to kill your boater, or do you want music that makes you want to say, "I love you, but you suck at fishing"?
No. Kill my boater.
Kill my
So
boat.
hype music. Hype
Yeah.
music. Okay.
There we go.
So yeah. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Coley. The next two questions are mine, and this next
You
question is going to be obvious of why it's mine. And Tiffany, this is an important question.
Okay.
Because most people have not answered this question correctly on this podcast.
You said there was no
for,
incorrect answers.
He judges everybody, Tiffany.
But you will be judged on
okay.
your answers. I said that as well.
Yes.
But Sean the Fisherman and me, I'm pretty sure the only ones that have answered this question without being judged in his and our eyes.
Wait,
all right, so this is
I
important.
answered well to this question. You didn't judge me. I had good answers.
Are you eating largemouth bass?
Negative.
Oh, fuck.
That's right.
Now, do I cull largemouth bass? Yes. And take them to other ponds? Yes.
You throw them on the bank and let the cows eat them?
No. I take them and I put them in a different pond that's bigger.
But why wouldn't
I take them out of my small
them?
pond and put them in my big pond.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're not eating
Paul
them?
thinks you can deep fry anything, make it taste good. And I told him, we just had a conversation. I said, Paul, I could probably deep fry a turd and make it taste good.
Number one, my bass are my babies. Like, that's how I feel. And number two, I would feel yucky about that.
In 99% of the United States of America,
okay, I don't
99.9% of the United States of America, largemouth bass is an invasive species.
Okay.
You should eat those motherfuckers. That's why they give you a limit.
Do you eat suckerfish?
Oh my God, yes. Red suckers down here in the South, we slice them across the back, and then you got to fry them super, super hard. You got a high smoke point.
Do you eat grass carp?
You can. Carp balls.
You're getting judged right now, Paul.
But that's okay because I'm country.
Carp are an invasive species, and carp have like literally killed half the habitat for largemouth bass in Texas. So
right. So that's why we should be eating more carp.
No, that's why you shoot an arrow through carp.
Well,
but you don't
eat them. But you can. They're
Nobody
delicious.
wants to eat a carp. They're gross. They're bottom feeders. No.
So oh my God,
I eat food I
you
like to
opened
eat.
up a whole other can of worms, Tiffany.
Let me tell you something.
Number one, I fish for the sport of it. I don't fish to kill fish. Yeah. I just don't. Look, I don't ever gut my fish.
99%.
I don't catch and keep ever.
Oh, yeah. 99% of the fish I catch go back.
Okay.
But if my son says, Daddy, I want to eat some fish tonight, we go fishing, I catch 5 legal fish, a bass, we going to keep them and we going to eat them and they're going to be delicious.
That's okay.
And
but
he likes it.
I primarily pond fish. And so if you take large bass out of a pond, the detriment to that pond over years, I've seen people take 3-4 pounders out of the ponds I fish. The detriment to that pond over the next 10 years is huge. And so, no, I don't keep any bass.
Where I grew up, that's exactly the same thing. Where I grew up, all farm ponds, I did not keep anything over 3 pounds. Matter of fact, anything over 2 pounds, I usually threw back because those are the big fish in the ponds. We're talking about large, I was keeping 12 and 14-inch largemouth because you could catch them all day long. You catch 30 or 40 a day. From a biological standpoint, that's a heavy bass pond.
Sure.
So you have to cool those fish.
But
I'm reeling you in, Paul.
You better reel Tiffany in.
14's the legal size, so you can't keep a 12-incher here.
Well, so in South Carolina, North Carolina, private ponds, you keep whatever the hell you want to keep in a private pond. But I mean, it's part of the cooling process. Like big fish,
sure.
No, never big fish. Those are the genes we want. Genetics.
We do, like, in our personal ponds, we do cull, but we cull to the larger ponds. So
we eat them.
Paul eats all the fish. He likes deep fried.
Look. Fish are delicious to eat. Anyway, okay. See, this is what happens when you don't answer the question like you're supposed to.
I'm with you, Tiffany. I don't eat them either. Let them go. Let them grow. Okay.
There's been two people on here that have answered that question correctly. Sean the Fisherman from Jugs and Bugs and myself. All right, Tiffany. Now, this is literally the most important question of the whole entire night. This is the question that has ended careers. We've had one prominent person say a vegetable. We've had another fairly prominent person say cheese. And so this is an important question, all right? And there's no thinking. You have to answer it quickly, and you have to have 3 answers.
3 answers. Right. Okay.
Yes. For one question. Are you ready?
No, but okay.
Top 3 sandwich proteins.
Top 3 sandwich proteins. Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Egg salad. I love egg salad. And salami.
Oh, nice.
Okay, thank you.
Good job.
Look, I don't know if we've had egg salad before, and that is a delicious protein.
Hell, protein.
And that is a good ass sandwich. Look, down here in the Carolinas, we got some really good gas station egg salad sandwiches.
I had an egg salad sandwich for lunch with a bowl of tomato basil soup today.
Oh, holy shit. Oh my God. Where do you work? Do y'all need a
It was
janitor?
Delicious. From the deli
good.
that I lost the hat from.
Tell him to give you a new hat.
I will bring this up to the end of time because I pick on him a lot about it. But Bailey Ibrit from Serious Angler says spinach. and when I pick on anybody, he's like
salad.
Well, you know, that's the thing is like when you say protein, it's exactly, you said correct answers, right? He says spinach. That was his first answer. And we're like, what? Hold the fuck on. It has protein in it, but it's not a protein.
It's because you watched Popeye as a kid.
Well, look, I love spinach. I had a half a bag of spinach tonight. And then Mr. Delirious Angler said cheese. This was before I was a co-host, but this is what prompted Alex to kind of give a warning to the answers. So, well, great. Look, this is not the end of the podcast unless y'all want it to be the end. I mean, I could go out. Look, I could talk fishing until the point that I die. And Tiffany looks like she's gearing up for the next half hour.
Hey, I can talk fishing all day.
There we go. This is it.
It's all night.
There we go. This is it. So I will go first. Coley, closing statements.
Just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to us. I think we have a little bit more than the 7 followers in New Jersey, like Alex always likes to say. I think we're growing that a little bit. Alex, you were greatly missed tonight. So I hope that when you watch this, I tried to honor you, sir, and tried to reel that bitch in. But, you know, Paul, he just gets to talking. Not much I can do. Tiffany, you were fantastic. This is our first video chat. Yay! Had so much fun. Thank you for everything. And Paul, thank you for always being so much fun and so lively and so fun to just be around and make us laugh. Appreciate you all very much.
So, Tiffany, thank you, everybody. You want to thank sponsors, whoever. This is your time to shine.
All right. Well, if this is a closing, may it please the court, counsel, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. No, I'm just kidding.
Object.
Do a closing in court. But I would like to thank my sponsors. I've got Cast King, who is an amazing sponsor, who has literally helped me change my fishing styles and all kinds of really great gear. If you haven't checked them out, please do. You can find them on Amazon, casting.com. Hawkeye Lures, Wind Rider, Twang, Los Altos Coffee Co. All really great sponsors who have supported me in my tournament season and have helped me to grow my Instagram and now my new adventure with YouTube. So if y'all aren't following me, please come follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at TxBassBabe. And thank you so much, Paul, for having me on here today. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. And I know I didn't answer all your questions right, but I think I answered plenty of them well.
You answered them. So that's the most important thing.
And Tiffany, also, I'd like to thank the cool kids for all their support and everything that we have done in our ventures together.
Man, our cool kids are amazing. And my Instagram family, like it really is like,
it's cool kids.
It's hard to describe. It's hard to put your finger on it, but I really have made some of the best friends that I have out there through social media, through this whole process. And
absolutely.
You know, I look forward to fishing with some of them, like Coley. She's going to come visit me someday, and we're going to get to fish together. Next week, I'm going fishing with two of my buddies who I met on Instagram, Jagon Fishing and Nathan Fish. His name's Fish_ATX. And so those are two guys. Those are the two guys I was fishing with previously when I fell off the boat. So, hopefully not a repeat. It's a little colder now. But yeah, I mean, my Instagram family, including our cool kids group, is pretty awesome. And I don't know where I'd be without them, honestly.
I feel the same way.
Well, Coley, I'll say this. First of all, you weren't Alex. I was Alex. You were me. You did a poor job picking on me and making me feel very insecure about myself. But that's okay.
My name is Cupcake. Like, Cupcake's not mean. I can't help it. I tried. I tried to reel you in for Alex's sake, 30 minutes ago, so we wouldn't get in trouble. But I failed.
He can't fire me, or this shit ends for like 4 months coming up. So he can't fire me yet.
That's true.
In closing, though, thank you, Miss Coley, for coming on and being a guest co-host. This was awesome. Thank you for getting us connected to Tiffany, TxBassBabe. Tiffany, awesome. This is great. I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time hearing the projection that you've had as an angler, because it's been kind of at a rocket's pace. And thank you for sharing your story. So we appreciate everything. Thank y'all. I hope everybody stayed to the last almost 2 hours of this, because it was a good ass time.
So much trouble, Paul.
I don't care. He can't do nothing. He ain't gonna be here for another week anyway. So we're gonna end this as a reminder. Hooks at Hoodlums, check them out. We will have folks contacts linked for Instagram and all on the bottom. There we go. And thank y'all. As my shirt says, I do what I want. Hey.
Tight lines, guys.
Bye.